I quit.
What's going on, YouTube? Keith Whitfield here. So let's go over a couple reasons why I finally decided to quit my job. I've been in the health field for 18 years of my adult career life. Let's go back to the beginning. 18 years ago, I got introduced to the health field. I got a job working as a CNA. A CNA, for those who are not familiar with medical terminology, is a certified nursing assistant to provide care for patients and residents, either the elderly or in a hospital setting, critical care patients. So I did that about 18 years. Between that 18 years, I met my wife, got married, we had kids, and then we got divorced. I just wanted to do more. So I went back to school, became a nurse. Becoming a nurse was the most logical step for me because I really didn't have any career goals at that point in time in my life. I was around 24, 25 years of age. So I went to school, became a nurse. Being a CNA gave me the opportunity to give back for those who needed me. That aspect I took joy in. Transitioning to that level gave me the opportunity to give back. When the patient came in, of course, it's one of their most difficult times of their life. So their attitudes are not the best, and I'm putting it lightly. When you first meet them, they're mad, they're frustrated, and they're reflecting all that type of energy back onto you. You have to be understanding and empathetic to the situation. But to get to that point where you come in at one day and they're smiling to see you, and they're open to talking to you, and just that whole transition just gave me a purpose. So as a CNA, that's one of the benefits I got from working. And then I transitioned to becoming a nurse. I became an LPN. So I did that for about another 10 years. Midway between those 10 years, my boss took a shine at me, saw my leadership skills, so I got promoted to a supervisor. Being promoted to a supervisor clicked something in me. The ability of having people work up under you looking for guidance and leadership, being one of those people who make a final decision, it kind of clicked on me like, this is what I should be doing. I could have just furthered my education and took their position. I soon realized if I did that, I still would be answering to another boss. The final decision would never be mine. I'm just a higher level of a worker. The higher I get, it's still someone higher. And one day, totally took me off guard. I was scrolling on my phone. Infamous commercial came across my feed. And you pretty much everyone knows about it by now. It's Ty Lopez, the bookshelf versus his Lamborghini in his garage. Something about that commercial just resonated with me. So I clicked on, researched a little bit more, and I ended up signing up for one of his programs, social media advertising company. So I did that program, and it taught me so much about online marketing, which I fell in love with. Just another aspect of me helping someone. And it also gave me the ability to be that person who makes the final decision. So I finished that program, and I started. Through the program, I teach you the basics and how to start your company, get an LLC, the finances, the taxes, and all that. I started my company, got my LLC, got my IN number, bank account, all that, and I went out there trying to find clients. The one thing about I didn't take into consideration is trying to convince someone to believe in you. You being a stranger coming into their door and asking them to invest in you to help them out and having them believe you with no previous experience. One of the hardest things I found out by firsthand. And because of that initial rejection that I didn't take into consideration, I kind of retreated back into myself. So to be perfectly honest, my initial personality is introverted. I'm kind of a loner. I'm kind of just by myself and quiet. But going into this, I knew that would have to change. I would have to be a people person, have to be more open and more inviting to come off more genuine with my intentions on what I wanted to do. So I was fine with, but considering that, I totally neglected the fact of rejection. That's one of the things that you have to really sit down and work through, that you're not going to get a yes in the beginning. Every door is not going to open for you, but you have to be hungry. You have to be dedicated to say, look, I know I'm new. I know I don't have the experience that you're looking for. I truly believe in what I'm doing, and I won't stop until I accomplish the things that I promise. And that's just one of those things that you're gonna have to get as you go. So because I retreated, I sat back and I was like, okay, since I'm not actively trying to find clients right now, let me just dive back in, get a little more information, get signed up for a couple more online courses just to get familiarized with the lingo and the whole business aspect. But doing that, time gets away from you. You know, life happens and you go on about. I got promoted at around that same time, so I took on more responsibilities with my day job, and that's when I kind of put my business back on the back shelf. With that happening, a couple years later, this was back in 2018, so 2 years later, COVID hit. It was very hard to deal with. Being in the health field, I was right there in the front line, seeing it happen with my own eyes. So it's a big difference with being there and then just listening and reading about it on the news. Like I said previously, you develop a relationship, a friendship with the people that you care for. And when COVID came, the people who were stable, who was with us for a long time, COVID came and just wiped all of them out. And it was very hard. It was very hard to deal with. We was working long hours, understaffed, not enough equipment, and we couldn't help the way we're traditionally trained to help. For those who were lucky, it was a quick transition. For those who wasn't, it was very difficult. It's your job to help, but you can't. So you have to make them comfortable as much as possible, and it took a toll. So one day, coming to work, one of my favorite patients, having a rough time. I'm in the room, we're doing our usual thing, and he just started talking to me out of the blue about his life, about his decisions, and his regrets. And that's what just dawned on me, his regrets. The things that he told me that he regretted that he didn't do. The things he didn't say, the places he didn't go. And that night when I went home, that's all I could think about. And I truly believe God planted a seed on my heart, and I'm neglecting that. I'm not nourishing that blessing that he's putting on me. For the next month or so, I just sat down and I started really focusing in on what I want. And leaving this secure job that I had and developed and secured me a place in, is it worth me leaving it? And that brings me to one of the reasons why I came to the decision to do so. One of the reasons that even though I love the aspect of helping, I started to hate the job. I started to hate going in and just waiting to leave. And that was a big issue for me, because I'm not working with inanimate objects. I'm working with live people who need you to believe in what you're doing. I believe in the helping aspect, but the politics of it just drained me. Is taking this journey worth you leaving that security? Because time is short, and because time can be so short and it's not guaranteed to you, it's best for me to be doing something I love to do. I dove back, I made a plan, and I started researching. I didn't want to quit. So one day, I was reading something, and in that feed, it said, pivot, don't quit. And then it just realized, like, yeah, I'm quitting. Instead of giving up on it, just pivot towards something else to just reignite the spark, the interest in me. A week or so after that, on my phone again, and a commercial popped up on my feed, and it was 14-Day Creator by Anthony Gallo, and it talked about filmmaking. So a little backstory on me. I am a movie enthusiast. I love movies. I love the whole aspect of storytelling. One of the things I love about movies is always trying to figure out who's the protagonist, the storyline, trying to figure out before it's revealed. It's always been one of my passions. And daydreaming, I always saw myself being a director, but that was just a dream. But watching that commercial and listening to the opportunity that the program would have gave me, it ignited another passion within me. On top of that, it made sense to me. Like filmmaking, I'm already offering social media advertising, online marketing. I can also offer the commercial production of it. So I can see the whole process all the way through from start to finish. I can offer the commercial production side of it and the online marketing aspect in post. So it just made sense, like pivot, don't quit, right? So I signed up, 14 days, was very quick, and it gave you just what you needed to get introduced into filmmaking and videography. It gave you all the basics, talked about gear, the importance of your gear, your lighting, camera settings, and everything. From that, after I finished that program, I bought my first camera, which was the Canon M50. I figured I'd just vlog with it and practice on the camera setting. The next camera I bought after that was the Nikon D7500, which was an all right camera, but it wasn't what I needed. It didn't offer the specs I needed in the way I was going for in commercial production. So I graduated from that and I bought the Canon 90D. So Canon is great with this aspect. We'll talk about that in future videos for sure. We're definitely gonna talk about gear. I signed up for another program that gave a little more in-depth about filmmaking, scripting, cameras, lightings, and everything. That was Tomorrow Filmmakers with Josh McCraney, which is a terrific program, especially for a person just starting off, because the course is a lower cost than most of filmmaking courses out there. 14-day filmmaking course I signed up. It was another low cost, so it wasn't taxing on my pockets, and it introduced me to the aspects I needed to know to get into filmmaking, and if this is something I want to do. And everything I learned just got me excited to learn more. And let me tell you, be at one point to like, man, this is overwhelming. Can I do this? This is a lot, going from editing programs to camera settings, the composition, the lighting. I can't wait to get to the point where I'm composing this all on my own. I'm seeing a vision and I'm executing. And to see that progress, it just sparked a passion within me. Like, I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I signed up for that program. It's a very intense program. It has over 100 videos, tutorials on all different aspects of filmmaking, commercial production, weddings, audio, the business side of it, everything. While doing that, I follow a couple people on YouTube just to get reviews on camera gear, programs, editing tricks and all that. And one person I follow is Parker Wallback, full-time filmmaker. And his program is one of the programs I always wanted to have, but his program is $1,000. You know, that's taxing. This is something I'm just starting off. I'm already buying this expensive gear. I have my other life responsibilities. This is something I wanted. So that takes me to the next one point I want to make. If this is the path that you want to take, you have to invest in yourself. Can't hold back. You have to give this your all. You have to invest in yourself. So during this holiday season, after Thanksgiving, of course, Black Friday, I'm like, okay, Black Friday coming up. Maybe he'll put his course on sale with everyone else, which he did. It dropped down to $600, and then when Cyber Monday came, it dropped down to $400. And I'm like, okay, this is it. I have to bite this bullet. I have to get this program while I can get it at this price. So I did, and it is worth every penny. The level of detail and how he explain it and teach you. Yeah, I'm so glad I got this program. It's showing me how I went wrong when I initially started trying to work for myself. All the things I did wrong, things I can correct, and just reinforce that if you're gonna take this path, believe in yourself. So that's where I'm at now, and that's why I'm starting this YouTube channel. I want to just go over, if you're in my shoes, for me, I'm a little bit older. I'm 38 now. My birthday was yesterday, matter of fact. And I have responsibilities. And because I have responsibilities, the choices I make might be a little different from you. But I hope the process and the journey I take inspire you to get up off the couch and make that decision and believe in yourself. Because if you truly believe God has laid a seed on you, and entrepreneurship is a path that you should be taking, you have an idea and it's been sitting on you, you've been wrestling with it. I hope that this journey that I take inspire you to take your own. If you're in my shoes and you're starting a little bit late, it's okay. It can still be done. But if you have a life and your job is secured that life, you have to make smart decisions. Which for me, I did quit my job, but I just didn't quit my job without a backup plan. I quit my job in the aspect I gave up that security of just, I work these many hours, I get this much back, and I have a paycheck every 2 weeks. So I signed up for a nursing agency, which give me the flexibility to make my schedule and won't have to be locked down to a preset schedule, and I can still make money as I need it, when I need it. If I need that time off, I can have that time off. So I'm still doing my nursing things, financing my responsibility with my household, my kids and everything. But I have the flexibility now to not work and concentrate fully into my business. And yeah, filmmaking, here I come. This is what we're doing. This is where we at. I'm so excited with anticipation on what's ahead. So with every video that I'm dropping, I'm gonna give you a quote of the day. Each quote is gonna inspire you and relate to each video. One of my favorite quotes is by Les Brown and talk about being hungry. It says that the hungry are willing to do today that most won't do, so they can have the things tomorrow that others won't have. And with that aspect, you have to be hungry. You have to be dedicated. Things are going to happen. Life happens. Life doesn't go about your plan. So you have to be able to believe in yourself. From the marketing aspect, we're gonna be talking about cold calling, email funneling, ad management, and approaching business owners. From the filmmaking side, we're gonna be covering camera gear, camera settings, lightings, composition, editing tricks. So if you like this content, hit the like button, subscribe. Before I drop a video, I'm always gonna give a heads up on my social media platforms, so I'm gonna link those. Leave a comment down below about any questions you may have or future topics that you might want to see me cover. Till then, see you later, YouTube. Peace.